Yeah, I'll just hit recording, but I guess I'll just get right
God
into it.
damn it, dude. God damn it, dude. God
Hello,
damn it, dude.
hello and
Oh,
welcome to another episode of Attention Not Included, where three clueless idiots watch a movie or show and get
And
together
die.
and talk about it. I'm Klaus McHamster. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Bree Cecil
Ew.
and Mixie.
dude. Dude. Hey, guys, sorry.
For those listening, you already
dude.
know like what movie we're gonna be talking about, but you don't know what the movie is that we're gonna be talking about. But before we get into this, I gotta ask how y'all are doing. How's it going? How has the last couple weeks since the last podcast?
You know what? You start. Let me.
Huh?
How's your week?
Me?
How's your
Fuck.
week, Nathan?
Oh
Yes,
shit.
let's change it up.
Ah
How's
fuck.
your week?
This is bullshit. I didn't sign off on this. My weeks have been all right. Not a whole lot, I guess. I took a break playing Persona and played Bloodborne. That's one of the biggest things.
That is big game. Yes.
That's been my life, I guess. Oh, I did buy a second light finally because I got money, so I bought a second light.
Hog.
Mhm.
So I'm happy about that. And I decided
Is
to
that
buy
coming in soon?
today, supposedly. It's
Yo.
out. It's been
Oh,
out for
okay.
delivery all day, but we'll see.
Mhm.
And then I bought Skyrim, and I was like, hey, let's mod the shit out of this. So I'm learning that.
Nice. Cool. I've noticed you've been playing Skyrim. I was like, oh, there he goes.
Yeah. But like, let's see. Let's learn about mods because I don't know shit about it. But other than that, not a whole lot. Like I say, boring life. Games, friends, no real interesting foods, I don't think, this week. No, can't go by the Brie metric of food. No, I got nothing. So,
Congrats.
Mixie, how you been? There you go. We're gonna go with you.
I've been cool. I've been okay. It's been a weird couple of weeks. A lot of work, a lot of just a lot of work, a lot of figuring things out. I bought a panini press. That happened.
Oh,
Yeah, because I was like, fuck it, dude. And it was
Yo.
and I've made a couple quesadillas on that panini press, and I've been like, hell yeah. So I'm very
Nice.
happy. On my stream, I just played and beat Kingdom Hearts 1 again. It was quite the ride. Um, and it's just been a good time for games, I guess, for me, because I've been like enjoying myself again lately with video games, because there's a dull period where I was like, games kind of suck.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, but now it's back. I am enjoying myself again.
Very good.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else happening with me. I think everything else is good.
Just
Like,
paninis for
crazy.
the Brie metric of the week.
Oh, food.
Food, yes.
What have
This
I
is a
had?
segment now.
Have I had any crazy food? I had. Nah, I don't think so. I think it's just been paninis, bro.
For the last 2
I grilled
weeks,
this-
I've been living off
I-
paninis.
Only
I gr-
paninis.
I grilled a steak on the panini press. Like,
Oh
that was
shit,
cool.
how was that?
That was great.
That
It
sounds
was
like a George
fantastic.
Foreman style way of doing it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, it has the grill marks and everything, and it's really not messy. It's like 8 minutes.
You
great.
got a fancy George Foreman then. Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for the steaks.
Yeah, just for the steaks.
Just
Who even needs the panini press part?
exactly. Steaks all day, every day.
Then that's a lot of meat.
That's a lot of meat.
We
Brie.
do be having meats over here, Brie. Sponsored
the
by
meats.
Arby's. Anyways.
Got all the meats. Brie, how you doing?
Mhm.
I had a burger today.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yesterday I had
What?
mochi. I had mochi, and then I had like
Salami
a
mochi?
little salami snack pack with like cheese and like fancy cracker.
I remember that you had a salami
The-
mochi, if I
the
remember correctly.
package called the crackers toasted flats.
She's ignoring us.
No, toasted rounds.
It's like an adult Lunchable. If I remember
Yeah,
the
that's
picture
what
correctly.
that's what it looked
Yes.
like. I saw the photos. Like that's an adult
Yes.
Lunchable because it's fancy.
Fancy.
And yeah, I remember you. I want to repeat what I said because I don't want to glaze over it. You had like a salami, mochi, right? That was it. The combination of that, a salami
You
mochi.
said it again just so she can acknowledge it.
Yes! I wanted.
You know what? It was strawberry mochi, okay?
That's not salami.
There's no salami mochi.
It has an S in it.
You have
Close
an
enough.
S.
Sweet
Just
Jesus.
wrong. Anyways,
Anything
how
else?
was your week?
Yeah.
Bree?
Oh yeah.
That was the
Um,
pre-metric. How's your normal week?
My normal week. Oh man. I don't know. I just ate food.
I've noticed you've
Life.
been arting quite a bit this week.
Yeah, I did some art. That was
Aw.
poggers. I played some video game. I didn't really do anything besides like a little art and then some video games and then food. That's really it. I know I'm very exciting.
I love that. It's fine because it's just at the end of the day you've just been existing, which is great.
It's
You've just
true.
been
Existing's
vibing
nice.
and
It
existing.
is.
Yeah,
It's good to exist.
exactly. Just vibing and existing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Anything else?
I
Now we get to it.
I guess. I thought we were gonna like, delay it, I guess, a little bit longer because like I don't know how much we
I
want to
don't
talk
want-
about this movie.
No.
We should just end it right here and not
That's
talk
it?
about the movie.
That's the whole podcast.
That's the
GG
whole
everyone. Have a good evening. See you next time in 2 weeks. Now, the reason
hate
why we're
this.
like this is because the movie we watched, because I want to first off, I want to expose some people. A couple of our friends like recommended
Get the
this
names
movie.
right.
Like, oh yeah, you should watch this because we were having trouble figuring out what to watch for this week. And I was like, you should watch this. And I disagree with their choices. The movie we watched, like, what's the full title of it? It's like, the full title of it is Birdemic, Shock and Terror.
And
That's
it's so up its own ass. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see a single shocking thing besides it being a shitty movie. Anyways, I'm sorry.
I was like, oh
Continue.
my god.
It's shocking how bad it is.
This movie came out in 2010, and you probably have never heard of it. And
There's
thank
a reason.
your stars that you've never heard of it, and be like, oh, I bet this should be a good movie, because it's not.
Toity, it's shit.
Yeah.
Fucking- oh, God.
I don't even know how to fully get into it because like it's a bird movie if you can't tell, but like we don't get birds for like what 40 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, we had like 3 birds around like
Oh,
the
yeah.
20-minute mark,
Yeah,
and then then no birds until like 55, and then shit happened.
yeah, that's when shit happened around an hour mark because this is like an hour 30. This is a 90-minute movie, but like it takes an hour
Yeah.
to get shit going. So yeah, I
Signs
guess
of a great movie.
yeah. Honestly, it's like the Godzilla movie or like Transformers movies. You got to get, where the money is. You have to wait until the absolute last minute to show them, except there's no money in this Transformer or Godzilla. There's nothing.
There is no Transformer money in this bird movie.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
So let's get through it, I guess, from the beginning.
Bro, the more I think about it, the more I want to take a nap. Like that's where I'm at.
It's valid.
Like, oh my god. Okay, I go for it, fearless leader. I'm ready.
Don't.
I'm ready.
God damn it. I ain't no fearless leader, motherfucker.
I am big coward.
Exactly. I think this like starts off with like the main guy driving around, right? Isn't that how it starts off? In
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
weird ass like
It starts off for
2000
like
And
5
Mustang.
minutes of him driving.
It's this like he's driving around really slowly on this like one highway, but he's got like this like I guess dashboard cam in his car, but like the camera is falling and you see half of the dashboard and half of like through the window, and it's really bad. And
Yeah.
the credits are in the super generic font, and there's no spacing, and it's not even the movie yet.
Yeah. That's the beginning. It's like, you know, when they do it like back in the day, it's like the main cast and the people writing and stuff, and then like it's like the slow drive in the car. Except the budget for this movie was $10,000, so they literally just had to have people hold on to the camera for this scene. And like he said this before too, of like some of the ridiculous shit they've done is like they had microphones between their legs. Give you an idea. Set the setting
Yeah.
of how shitty
Yeah.
the production of this movie is.
Bro, I'm just thinking about it. It's just like they were filming in the middle of the day, blocking traffic.
Yep,
Just
yep,
he was driving so slow on that highway. There were 3 cars behind him trying to get around him, but they couldn't because the other cars are going too fast.
You gotta
And
get
again,
them
this
shots.
is like, yeah, it's not a big budget movie, so they're just driving slowly on the road, and all the cars on the real road are like, "What is this guy doing? Why is he so slow?"
and
Why
that's
is he so-
the whole intro. Basically, it's just a car driving to a restaurant. He goes into town because he starts from like a fucking I don't know country
I already
road.
forgot about that scene.
Goes to
dude.
a
Oh my
restaurant.
god, it just came back.
Yeah, he goes to a restaurant. And he walks in with the weird ass camera angles, and then it's like the lady. That this is. We're gonna have to keep pausing it. I felt like the stupid acting and camera angles because the waitress like, "Here's your menu," just staring at the camera. Oh,
And it's very
so-
loud compared to like it's almost like the main character is the only one who got a good microphone. Not
yeah.
even
Yeah.
good, like compared to the other ones, it's like adequate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and that makes sense because like so much of the audio just cuts and everywhere because it's probably why like the microphones are between their legs. I just put that together because you can hear the background noise everywhere. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, like
the
it's not
background
cut out
noise
at
makes the movie.
all.
Yeah, it's poorly edited, and as we're gonna continue on, you can tell this movie was also edited like through like Vegas Pro, and the guy barely knows what he's fucking doing. It's like me with YouTube
I'm
videos,
just-
pretty
I'm-
much.
I was just thinking about the cutaways, dude. Just like they're
Oh,
just like
yeah.
his cameras are shoved directly in their faces and like speak this line. Do it. Okay, now it's your line. Do it. Over the shoulder, still speak this line. Do it.
There's just
Thank
so many
you.
things, man. Just like just little things that we just couldn't help but notice. But as he's in this restaurant now, he's having his food, and he noticed
he's
a
not
hot
having
lady.
food.
The
He's not eating.
he's
Of
not
course.
eating. He's just looking
He's
at the
looking
menu.
his menu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's looking at his menu. Then he's eating, but he's feasting with his eyes at the lady. Apparently,
Yeah, he's
'Cause that's-
looking at this lady who's cutting toast, not eating it. She's just cutting toast, looking down at her plate, cutting toast. And then she gets up and leaves.
yep, yeah, and he's like, "Oh, lady!" And then he chases after her. He doesn't order anything. Takes the time to go there. Doesn't order anything. He's like, "Pussy."
She didn't pay for her
Re-
toast. He didn't even order anything. Don't know what was going on there.
The criminals right off the
Remember,
bat.
fellas,
And then he starts
remember,
chasing her down
fellas,
the street.
always chase after the woman outside the restaurant. That's
Yeah,
a
God,
good
totally
way to
not
get
creepy.
arrested.
Yeah,
That's a
totally
good way
not
to get arrested. It's just like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
He chases after her and he's like, "Hey, I recognize you. Did we go to high school together? Did we?
Did we? Oh
I
my
don't
god!
remember
I think we did. Well, I'm a fashion model now. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay.
I'm a fashion model." And I was like, "What do you do?" "Oh, anyways."
Yeah, he doesn't address that. He's like, it just. Oh, God. And then she goes, and he catches up with her again, and then they trade cards. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck does he have a card for?
Yeah, like business
Still don't know
cards.
what his job is.
Yeah, we don't know anything about him. Just
Yeah.
that
And
he's
it cuts away
creep.
to his house.
Yeah, back to his now to his house. He somehow got there. and he's eating a bagel with like fucking frosting on it because that was
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Because
It's
a
a-
real
It's
donut would
supposed to
like
be a
get
donut.
soggy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you
You gotta
gotta
have a bagel.
bagel with frosting. Good.
And they're looking at the news, and I think this is where we first see they said some seagulls are dead.
Yeah, this is the beginning of
And-
like global warming shit
Yeah.
talking, and that
Global war-
becomes
yeah,
a
it's
thing.
like seagulls are dead. The news anchor looks like she's doing a let's play in that corner.
She's so fucking. The
Yeah.
camera's so high. Like I don't.
And then he's like, all right, time to go to work. And then we have another fucking driving scene.
A long driving scene.
Long
of
driving. And
nothing.
then this is when we realize, wait, none of these people are getting paid. Everybody here is just in the background of their movie, not realizing they're being filmed for a movie.
Yep.
Yep.
Because they did
That's-
not. Yeah.
That's what because we were watching this guy, we were watching him drive up, and then we see this dude who is trying to chase down this bus that he has to get on. He's booking it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that man doesn't know he's being recorded for a movie. His embarrassment of running after the bus is on this film.
And then we
It's
saw
just
the
like,
fucking
oh,
like
dude.
the mighty green bug too, which is like all
Yeah,
jacked up
mighty.
on big ass tires. I'm
Yeah,
like, what the
it's
fuck?
really
Yeah.
funny because like a lot of the stuff like in the background that it's not supposed to be there is a lot more interesting than what's actually happening in
Oh,
the movie.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the background characters more than I cared about these actual characters.
Yeah. And we had to time it.
It's-
We had to time it from that point of like this whole scene of like, oh my god, none of this shit's happening. And because then we finally get to his work because there was 4 minutes.
Yeah.
We had to check.
4 minutes of just him driving to work.
Yeah.
As if like we were really there in the car with him as he was driving to work.
Yeah.
Like no scene should be that long. It's okay. We get the idea. He's going to work.
Yeah.
But no,
Then he
you gotta
gets
get
to
that full
work.
effect.
He sits down and then he does his job and then he cheers because he got a $1 million sale, and he looks so depressed when he cheers. He's like,
Oh my
"Woo!"
god. That was
Oh.
such a beautiful scene. Because then it like right when this happened, he does the woo thing. His friend came in and it's like, hey man, what's up? What just happened? He's like, I caught a big fish. Oh yeah, for how much? $1 million. Said it just like that.
And they're like, woo, and then they
Woo!
high five.
Yeah.
In this empty office.
This empty office. And then he's just like, oh, so what are your plans later? Oh, I met this girl.
Oh
we went to
no.
high school together.
Wait, was
No,
that
this is
during
bef-
that
this is
scene?
before
I
the
thought
fir-
that was
no, this is the
later.
b- This is before the first phone call because he mentioned her to them.
Oh,
That was
okay.
it. That's all they mentioned was like, oh, I met a girl. Oh, cool. And then he
Yeah.
went to his car.
Yeah, and
And
then
then he's in a modeling agency. I believe that's the next scene.
yeah, it just
He's
somehow
getting
snaps to
photos.
that. Yeah, to her
Yeah.
doing her
So-
job as a fashion model.
If we're not being clear enough, so the way the camera works is that the cameras will just cut away. There's a very basic fade in and fade out.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, sometimes, but for like this scene from him saying "woo" and then he starts walking to his car, it fades out really quickly and cuts into a building that I think is like My Photo or some shit, and it's
Yeah.
the lady who is at her modeling agency gig, and looks like she's modeling for a
It's
Sears
so
catalog.
fucking dark too. Like the Sears
It's
catalog
so
is
dark in that area.
oh,
There's no lighting in that fucking building. It was just like they're all sunlight.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah. And then like we pan to like a front desk, which my immediately thought is a different lady, but I didn't realize that at first. It was a different lady, but it was like a front desk for the modeling agency. You can't see it, but air quotes are implied here. And I'm like, this is a porn studio. Like this is a setup of a porn. Like-
Basically.
She's like, you got this thing. Like then this lady looked like she was about to get her shit rocked by like 4 guys. Like she's gonna
You
get.
fucking wrote it down, you bastard.
I did. I actually wrote down lady about to get her shit rocked by 4 black
Shit
guys.
rocked.
This is where that meme came from. It's this movie. I'm pretty sure.
And then what? The main character, whatever his name is, Rod. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's
his
he,
name.
he
Rod.
gets in the car and he like takes out his phone and he goes to call Natalie, I think.
Mhm.
no,
name is-
no, it's
No,
They say Natalie, but it's spelled Nathalie.
Nathalie. Yeah,
TH.
but they say
Nathalie.
Natalie, but it's
Yeah.
like Nathalie. And
Ugh.
basically, they call each other. They're having like a normal conversation. It's like, oh, hi. Like, oh, you're the guy from the restaurant. It's like, how are you? Oh, you're doing great. That's good. And then all of a sudden, he's like, I think you'll look great in that lingerie because she's like a model or whatever. And it
Yeah.
caught me so off guard because they were
Dude,
having
sure
this
did.
normal conversation.
He said
Hey,
that
you look
after
great
she
in
like
lingerie.
told him I got a gig, which was the whole thing with the like this porn studio thing. Like
Mhm.
she got I got a gig, and she told him, and that he said that. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like, hey,
Yeah,
you
that's
look
so
great in that
creepy.
lingerie. You want to go to get some Vietnamese food? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they barely know each other, and the acting, the writing is just so bad. You can tell that it's written by a straight white man because women like men. Men say one thing to woman like monkey brain activate.
there is so much like random sexism in this fucking movie.
Oh, it's
Fucking
ridiculous.
After this, the main white dude goes to play basketball with his other
Hard
friend,
cut,
white
by the
dude.
way. Also another hard cut.
Hard cut.
Yeah.
Hard cut.
You never
the
get to
hardest
see-
of cuts.
You never get to see like where the besides like that first like 4 minutes. You could tell where the priorities are in this movie because 4 minutes driving to work and then every other location for the rest of the movie just randomly cuts there, and you get such whiplash because you're like, when did they get here? What time is it? Where am I? What's going on?
I love the "Where am I" section of it. It's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a scene later that does it even better because the way they just organize that whole shot is ridiculous. But yeah, and the most awkward fucking like basketball playing too. It just looked like some weird
Ooh,
shit, man.
It
Like,
was bad.
it's like these white boys, they don't know how to do shit. And then like,
they were. Whew. Anyways,
and then they like made
They-
another
they-
comment. There was like another comment too about the weather, which we were confused at what time made it even like we had to address that later. But like, what? How long
Yeah.
has time passed?
The timeline is like non-existent. It's just whatever's convenient.
Yeah. And then they
There-
once they're done playing, they go to the fence, which we all thought they were gonna walk through. It's like, is that where you want to go? Like, is that where you're going right now? Like, we should get going. Walks to the fence. They're gonna go through it. Like, oh my god.
They're gonna jump the fence.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And so they're proceeding to
our-
just talk about stuff,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, about like,
And
oh,
our
I met
main
this girl.
character, our main character's like, "Hey, I got a date later." "Oh, you got a date later with who?" "Oh, it's with a modeling agency chick." "Oh, are you going to have the sex?"
Yeah, that's pretty much
No,
what it was.
he's basically like, oh, I hope you score one with her. And,
Yeah.
and he's like, come on, man, all you think about is sex. And I'm like,
And the quote,
huh?
I wrote down the quote
And
of his
here's-
reply
Here's
to
the
that.
quote:
A
As
day
he
without.
thrusts.
Yes. I
as he
wish,
thrust.
I almost wish I could grab it just for the video.
I mean,
but
you
he's like,
can.
I-
You
I-
can cut it out for like a brief point. Just
no,
stick it on the video.
yeah, just like no audio. Just I'll say the audio so I don't get in trouble. But he's like,
Yeah.
a day without sex is a day wasted, man. Like, jeez.
Said in a movie. Wow.
This is a
As
very
he hit
quotable
thrust.
movie, man.
Oh my god! And he's just like, "Come on, bro, shut up. What do you know?"
Oh my god.
And I think
then
something
hard
else. Didn't something else talk about
No.
during that scene? I can't remember.
Oh,
think that was
yes,
it.
you're right. The next scene happens is where they go back to my man's house. Hard cuts to the house,
Yep.
Mm.
and then more global warming shit. The forest,
TV
California's
again,
on
right?
fire.
Oh, everything's
Yeah.
on fire. It is 0%
Everything's on
put
fire.
out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
zero
0%
contained.
put out.
0% contained.
Oh, in the worst English. It was. Oh, I wish I wrote it down, but it was like something like green and windmill technologies. I'm like, I don't think that's how you use that properly in a sentence.
Oh, that was the-
Technologies.
that was the solar panel guy.
And
Yeah,
then
it's like-
solar panel man knocks on his door, yeah.
Yeah.
The first black man of the movie. My fault. The first of
And
two.
he
Only two.
like comes into the house. He like invites him to. He's like, "Oh, come on in," and they sit at the table. And the solar panel guy hands him a piece of paper that says, "This solar panel will cost $20,000." And then Rod is like, wow, that's a lot of money. And then they go back outside.
Yeah.
Like,
Talk about where they're
there was
gonna
no
place
reason for
it.
them to go inside and sit down.
We're gonna
Can
place
you
it there.
strike a deal with me and drop down the price for you, man?
I'll knock down the
$1,000.
Oh, really?
Sold. And they also like pan to like a part of his roof where they would put the solar panel
For so
and it's
long.
just it's too long of just a roof. And then they just cut to the next scene and I was like, why was that even relevant?
Yeah. And
Yeah. And then
that-
hard cuts to the Vietnamese restaurant.
yeah,
Yeah.
which also was like kind of racist because they had like Vietnamese music happening. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why is that there? Like,
The movie,
get it, we see
you
it,
can,
but-
you can tell again, straight white man. It's like very sexist and racist. So
Yes, it is.
yeah.
And then, so the hard cuts to the Vietnamese restaurant. He's waiting on the girl to show up,
Mhm.
Nathalie.
Nathalie.
They get inside. They start talking about nothing. They're talking about nothing. And then we realize, wait a second. Didn't they get to that restaurant when the sun was still out? And now it's nighttime outside?
Yeah, it became like an
Wait
ad.
a minute. Is
became-
that guy still in daytime while the girl's in nighttime?
yeah, like it basically it would cut to like, you know, her like sitting at the table and they got to the restaurant. The shot showed it was nighttime outside.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden they cut to the guy's side of the table and it's daylight. It's like bright out. It's like afternoon and it just makes you think about how bad.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, like that they had to like this they're sitting at a table having one conversation and this must have taken so many days for some reason.
Timing
They did like
schedules
one line
are
a day.
fucked.
Like I don't know.
Oh, and then she asks, "So what do you see in a girl?" And she's like, "Oh, she needs to be kind, passionate, trustworthy, loyal." And she's like, "What about a good figure and sexy?" "Oh yeah, that too. But I'm not shallow or anything."
There was a couple weird moments too, because like didn't like she asked like why didn't you try to, you know, get like
Get
try
with
to
me in
like
high
hook
school?
up back then or some shit. He's like, oh no, I was shy. He's like, well, why don't we try now? Like you just ask him to fuck you. Like what the fuck? It was random as fuck.
And then
And-
he's like, "So what do you like to do?" "Oh, I like to hang out with Alex." Who's Alex?
Yeah, he
Is
gets
this your boyfriend?
defensive.
Is this your boyfriend?
He gets so defensive.
Oh my god.
He's their boyfriend. She like
And
pulls
it's
out her
like,
wallet and
cat.
everything. Yeah.
Just a cat, bro.
And it was so like Natalie was like she was being such a jerk. Like he's like what is Alex your boyfriend? Is your boyfriend? And like also that's very weird and territorial, especially
Yeah.
considering that's a first date.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
Yes.
that's a weird
That's
thing to
super
do.
territorial
But it was
first date.
also very weird of her to be like, you want to see Alex? Do you want to see? And it was like, what's going on?
This is like a red flag for both of these people right now.
Yeah, but they're both. Do not associate with either of them.
This
Fucking
is like
goalie's gonna
30 or
come out,
40
man.
minutes into the movie. It's like,
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
20
this is
minutes,
like-
man.
and then he's like, "Huh? Who? Huh?" And then just some stupid bullshit. Then hard cuts again to them in a car, I think.
No, they went
I
to a
think it was-
park or something, like a garden, and that's when it's daylight because like when they pan through the whole restaurant at one point it was dark,
That's
and then that's
That's right.
it's daytime,
right,
and
I
this is when we get our first glimpses of the birds, the parakeets.
God.
Remember?
Yes, because you're right. Because they were walking down the street, and
Yeah.
then 3 parrots appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah,
They were parrots, and then they were just looking in the tree, and oh my god,
they're moving.
they are moving JPEGs.
Yeah,
Yes,
That
basically.
are
With
just
shadows.
sliding
And
across the
the
screen. You can
shadow, yeah. It's so bad. The shadow of the birds are like on like a flat, like the background is just a flat image,
yeah.
but the birds, oh Jesus, it's so
It was-
bad.
The funniest shit is in the world is that the tree that the birds, you can't see it, but I'm doing air quotes, that the birds were next to was fucking blurry. And the birds are just like around this blurry tree, not blurry, just like a moving JPEG. It's just like, and they're
It's
just
like-
staring at them, and they're not even actually looking at the birds. They're actually looking like 80 degrees away from them.
Yeah.
But it's to say they're looking at the birds is so bad.
I wish I could see the birds. The birds had demon eyes. They fucking had bright
Birds did
red
have demon
eyes
eyes.
for no reason. I'm like, oh
It's
my
'cause-
god.
Because birds are scary, bro.
Yeah.
And
that
birds
happened.
Are so fucking scary.
They're frightening. They really are. Just don't tell Frozen.
Damn.
And then it went. Then it went to nighttime again. They have a time machine.
And they're
of
driving
like this.
around. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. And then they start driving around, going zoom. My fault, not zoom. They're going the slowest speed imaginable.
As always.
As always, my man runs a red light. He's still going slow.
Red
And
light
then-
at 20 miles
And then
per
it
hour.
cuts hard. It hard cuts again, and then they're walking. I remember that scene so clearly because they're just driving, and then I don't know, a hard
She had
cuts
a
walking.
flower too,
he's
for some
walking-
reason.
And then he's walking towards the house that dropping off, and you're like, "So will we meet again? Maybe."
He's like, "Can I come inside too?" He's like, "Not on the first date. I'm not that kind of girl." You just said at the restaurant, you're like, "You can fuck
Yeah,
me,
literally.
basically." Get your shit together.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
I.
God.
What was the next scene? Did they go on a date again, or was this another hard cut? Was this hard cut to the sex?
Whatever
the
it was
first sex?
definitely a hard cut.
Yeah, there's lots
Yeah.
of that. Oh, I think. Oh, okay. Next day. Cut to next day to mom's house of the main
Oh,
chick.
was it mom's house or was it them clapping because they just got like $1 billion or some shit?
No. It's mom's house next because she just
Was
like
it mom's house?
Yeah,
Okay.
mom's house is first, and then
because we gotta
Okay.
forget after that though. We gotta don't forget about the other couple, the other
Yeah.
couple because we got
So-
shit to say about that.
So yes, so hard cuts to mom's house,
Mm.
and she goes to mom's house. And is like, "Mom, I just met this wonderful guy, and all this other things." And mom's like, "Oh, so you're looking to get married, right? I know you work at your modeling agency, and that may not be permanent. So it's always good to have a strong male husband that
we
has
love
money."
sexism in a movie written by a straight white man.
Make sure he has money and
Oh
a
my God.
male so he can take care of you.
During this whole thing, I
It's
can't help but notice the bullshit editing with this because there was a
Yeah.
scene during the date that I totally forgot about. But during this
Mm.
scene, I kept zooming to the mom, and it's like the background is like fuzzy, like it looks artificially fuzzy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Because we noticed it because mom was talking and around in the
Yeah.
background, like
She's
the
like an
kitchen
aura around
appliances.
her. Like it's
Yeah,
just
she had a
like
blurry-
an aura.
And we noticed, we noticed that around her that it looks like her arms are also blurry. That means they went into like Photoshop or something and just add
Mhm.
like a blur effect to everything
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they weren't sponsored by those things, so they can't show them. That's what I'm thinking.
I
it
also
was.
want to like emphasize the hard cut to mom's house because Natalie went in her house, said good night.
She did
Then
go
it
in her
cut
house.
to the outside of her mom's house and her opening the door. And it was such whiplash because
Yeah.
you're like, this is
Wait a
a
minute.
different house. What?
Wait a minute.
I just had to emphasize that to make people understand what we mean by like
Hard cut.
hard
Yeah.
cut. Yeah,
Hard cut.
extremely
Hardest cut.
Like my neck hurts. Like honestly, after the end of that movie, like I have to go see a
Yeah.
doctor.
And then guess what? Guess what's gonna happen, guys? Another hard cut to
Oh,
people
God.
to this businessman saying, "Hey guys, we just sold our company
No.
for
for
$1
$1 billion.
billion."
You're
No,
missing
it is this one.
No,
No,
you're
'cause
forgetting
they-
about the best friend and the girl in the fucking bathing
Was that
suit.
not after it? Was that
No,
not
it was
after?
before because I wrote
it before?
specifically
Yeah,
the sex scene happens and then it hard cuts to a meeting.
yeah, that's
Hell
what
yeah.
exactly happened.
My fault.
Because
My
Alright.
fault. I thought it was after.
we got to paint the
The
picture.
sex scene.
We got to paint the picture for you.
Okay.
So
I'm-
it's
I'm here
it
for you.
is. By
Ready.
the way, it's the same hotel room for later as well. I just
yeah,
thought about
they
it. It's the
only
same
had
one.
access to one hotel room
Mhm.
apparently.
Preach
It's,
it.
No
Tell me.
houses.
Tell me more.
so
Yes.
this is the
One
hotel room.
Yes.
It's going down. There's a random sign that says "Imagine Peace."
Imagine Peace.
www.com,
Imaginepeace.com.
And it's
imaginepeace.com.
not subtle. It's a piece of printer paper
White,
with
black ink.
Imagine Peace in like Arial font, the most
Mhm.
generic, like Helvetic, whatever is the generic font. And then under it says www.greenpeace.com. And it's like a piece of paper. This is not subtle at all.
Yeah. And then as we continue going down, there's a lady in a bathing suit on top of a guy, which, by the way, is the most naked a male person has been in this entire film with no
Yeah.
shirt on. She's just on top of him. He's like,
It's the
doing-
hairiest chest I've ever seen
Oh
in my
my god,
life.
yes.
he was a fucking Wookiee.
He was rocking that fucking Austin Powers hairy chest.
Oh,
I want to
100%.
bleach my eyes.
Yeah. And this whole scene,
Oh,
we were like, why is she in a bathing suit? Why? And he was doing weird shit with his fingers on her belly, too, by the way. You notice? He was doing like
yeah, he
jazz
was.
Probably
hands.
because he was like, hey, get in like your bra and underwear. And she was probably like, I don't want to do that. And so he's like, okay, fine, get in a bathing suit. I don't care.
Yeah, that's probably 100% the reason. It was not comfortable, which is valid. I'm
Yeah, I
looking
mean-
at it. I'm not comfortable.
And like,
wasn't comfortable with
there's
it.
two sex scenes in the movie where the women are basically naked, but
Yeah.
the men, like, they don't get naked at all. Like they
Except for the best friend, which, by the way, that's who was in the room with the lady.
Yeah.
The best friend to the Rod. Which then there was like a weird scene just to establish that the girl was best friends with Natalie or whatever the fuck how her name was, pronounced the way it's
Yeah.
spelled. And that was that whole scene.
Mhm.
And then it's rough cut to the office meeting.
then it's hard cut to the office scene where
we
you're like,
sold the
we-
company.
we sold our company for $1 billion.
Oh
What
my
we gotta
God.
do? And it's like everybody who had stocks in the company, guess what? You're making millions of dollars. Wow. Look, so great.
That's so
Woo.
good. Wow.
In
White
this
people
scene,
getting paid.
Yeah. At this point in the movie, I'm like, okay, this is basically like self-insert everything good happens to main character
Yeah.
white guy the movie. Because
he's
he talked to this girl once. He chased her down from a restaurant and chased her down the road, and now they're like dating. He becomes rich instantly.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
understand. He's like everything.
Eh,
There's
well,
no
so-
conflict.
so what I think it is that he's what's the term? Mary Sue. Like everything is good. Everything
Yes.
is perfect is happening to this character.
Yeah,
But-
there's like no
And
conflict.
once a certain minute hits, everything goes to shit and it means nothing. That's
Mhm.
all it is.
Yeah.
Just is like, oh, it's so great. Whoop de goddamn do. Oh shit, birds. But it's just like
But how
No,
we
but
get
it's like-
there, man, it's a beautiful. This is
Yeah.
how.
in this meeting, after they announced that, oh my god, we sold the company for $1 billion, everybody's clapping and cheering, right? Everybody's
Oh,
clapping and
God.
cheering.
This
And
scene
then
was
it
amazing.
cuts. And then they stop clapping, and then when the camera
then they
gets back
start
on
again.
them, they start
It's-
again and clapping and cheering and moving all around, and then they cut to somebody else. They're stopped, and then they're clapping again.
Yeah, the way it
It's
looked like to me,
2
it's like
minutes.
yeah. What it looked like to me was like they filmed the entire scene, but they just restarted it at a different position on the film. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? That's what it looked. And they did that, and then I noticed the table. Like I'm noticing stupid details in this fucking horrendous mess of stupid details. Is that there's this random ass power cables, like the power
Mhm.
things. I don't know what the fuck. I can't think of the name of them. Just chilling on the tables. Like there's 4 of them. I'm like, what the fuck? Tape covering the power
be-
plugs. I'm like, what's
It be
happening?
like that sometimes, man. When you just out here being in a $1 billion office.
Yeah, and
apparently, it do
I
like that.
think after the weird clapping scene, he's in like he's in the meeting room like with his boss, I think.
Yeah,
and then his
boss,
friend?
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
he's
Because
talking
with
to
his boss, he has this little remote control car and he's driving it around.
He's like, one day I'll have a real one. Like,
yeah, he's like, yeah, his friend's like, so he's driving like a little remote control car. He's like,
And
yeah,
again, this
my
is a
new
hard cut.
Ferrari.
mm,
Yeah, hard cut. This is my Ferrari. It's one day, but I'll have my own Ferrari. I can take my girl wherever I want. Because you know why? Because I have the money to do it now. Because you know why? Because we just sold our company. What are you
Oh
gonna
my
What are you
God.
gonna do with your millions of dollars? Oh, this is the main character now. Oh, I'm thinking about taking an early retirement, a little break. And he's like, for a couple of months. That's not a retirement, fuckhead.
Yeah, this is a
It's a
break.
goddamn
For a
vacation.
couple of months.
Yeah, it's a couple of months. It's not a retirement. He's like, oh, I'm gonna retire a bit. And then he's like, oh, you're not gonna buy a car? No, I'm
I'm gonna-
not gonna buy a car.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna start a company, a green company or some bullshit
Yeah,
like
but
that.
before he because that's interesting too. They go on the double date because they talked about going on a double date earlier, like during that weird sex
Yeah.
scene. So he wants to go on a double date with his best friend and her girlfriend. So they do
Mhm.
that. But we don't see it. We just see them like in the
panning of
parking
the
lot.
theater.
Hold on. Let's paint the picture here. Hard cut movie
Hard
theater.
Hard cut movie theater, hard cut parking lot.
Hard cut movie theater. Hard cut parking lot.
And I have some
Wow,
fun
that
trivia
movie was
later that will help explain that scene.
I'm ready. So,
But
hard cut movie theater, hard cut parking lot, hard cut. Oh, that movie was fantastic. Did you write it down, Nathan? What he said?
Oh yeah,
About the
man,
movie?
what a great movie! An inconvenient truth.
and the girlfriend comes out right on the double date with the best friend, and
Yeah.
she is wearing the imaginepeace.com on a white shirt. And that is
Yes.
just printed imaginepeace.com. And it's like, oh my
That's-
God.
With the
That's
website.
Be
when it
more
hit us.
obvious?
That's when it hit us that that's somebody's company in that movie.
Yeah.
100%,
That
yeah.
funded that. And they're
That
like, we
funded
gotta
this
have
movie,
this
yeah.
everywhere. That girl was
Everywhere in
literally
those two places.
it was only assigned to that character too. Like the
Yeah,
girlfriend.
so
like
we saw it
later
She was a
again.
walking advertisement.
Yeah, oh my god, boobs, imagine peace. Oh my god,
Imagine
boobs,
peace.
imagine peace.
And then basically the movie was over and they're like, oh, that was good, whatever. And then the other couple's like, all right, we're gonna go have sex now. And then they leave. They're like, bye guys. And then it cuts
Yeah.
to Rod at another
Festival.
meeting when he's like a pitch meeting.
Oh, it was
where
another.
he's
Oh yeah, that's right. It was a
Yeah.
pitch meeting.
He's-
You're right.
32
pitching
minutes
a
in.
solar panel. Yeah.
Gotta stress that. This is 32 minutes in. Nothing has
words.
happened.
No. This literally, we're about to get to another reason why this is white guy gets everything he wants in the movie, because he's pitching this solar panels and he's talking nonsense. It's like,
like
oh,
a Shark
normal
Tank
solar panels
episode.
are expensive, but not mine. Mine are better. It's like, okay, what? All
Yeah.
right, whatever.
He's like, and then it turns. It's like, so how much are you selling it for? $10 million. Looks at Asian dude. Looks at hillbilly across the way.
Oh my god,
looks at
yes!
pregnant lady.
I forgot about Hillbilly Bob. Oh my god, this is like high-end technology.
The guy was like, yeah, that sounds good. 10 million, yeah, that sounds good. We'll do that. He immediately gets like $10 million in funding.
Yeah,
Like,
that
Yeah.
makes sense. That's how you win a Shark
Okay.
Tank episode, 100%.
And guess what? Hard cut festival.
hard cut.
Yeah, and we had to like. Oh wait, was there like? Yeah, this is a festival now because we were trying to figure out like how long
Yeah.
has it been? Because there was like a line earlier. It's still
Yeah,
like the
we were-
same time, but it feels like months
We were
have passed.
talking about like how long? It felt like months have passed at this point. But it's
Mhm.
hard cut festival. They're like a pumpkin patch festival.
Yes.
And then this is where it was just major noticeable, where you're just walking around and they're just recording this movie, and you just see people walking
Yeah.
by, just like casually minding their own business.
this
And you see
festival was insanely crowded. Like they
Yeah.
did not get any of these people to sign anything. These people do not know that they're in a movie.
There were
Mhm.
so
Oh,
many
100%.
kids in that fucking shot that I'm like, oh my god, this is gross. These people there is no money else being spent on these people except for those two the character the camera's
Yeah.
focused on. There's just some dude who's listening to music, bobbing his head back and forth. He's on camera in a movie forever now because he doesn't know that. I doubt he's watched this shit movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, they're walking through. Oh, guess what? Hard cut, and they're walking through the same spot. Like we didn't realize they're walking through the same spot.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the whole
Staring-
festival.
Staring at a painting,
Mm-hmm.
hard cut,
Yep.
and there's like they were like watching a pumpkin carving and see a tractor being pulled by a child
Mhm.
and a
Yeah.
hard cut beach.
Yeah, they're at
Yeah.
the beach now. They're hard cut, and they keep like. First of all, when you go to a beach, the waves are very loud, and it's
Sure
very
is.
windy at the beach, so you can't hear anything. Like if you have ever gone to a beach and tried to like take a video of something, you can't hear anything.
That's
It's
literally his
horrible.
entire scene.
And
Yeah.
It's hard
Yeah.
to. It's hard
You
to.
can see that in the sky it's a cloudy day too. So not only did they like record a scene at the beach, but it's a cloudy day, which means the weather is even worse.
It was fucking amazing of how terrible it was. I mean, I didn't even know what he said. The first line he said at the beach. I was like,
didn't
what?
either.
What'd you
really
say?
didn't.
Like, what? What is that?
But what was so funny is because you see all these people on the beach, and then you see them walk, and then you see our two main characters. They're talking and walking like they're supposed to. Like
Yeah.
main characters do, talking and walking. And then I noticed something as they're talking and walking. It cuts. I was like, why would it cut? And I noticed every time they were talking and walking, they were walking away from a cliffside. As they're talking and walking, they'll cut. They'll get closer to the cliffside again. That means they had to keep resetting because they were
Yeah.
getting too close to people.
They
Each and every
reset
time.
their like they reset their respawn point. Every time they got too far, it just abruptly cut to them like starting walking from where they originally started walking, except they're continuing the conversation. So it's like, oh,
Where they
walk
left
3
off.
feet.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, like, so yesterday I went to, and then they get too close, and then they cut to the store, and then they keep walking, and it's like, what?
All right, and then as they're walking, you just see them cut to you. They finally give us a new angle, and there's just some dude with
Yeah, with a metal
with a metal
Yeah.
detector.
He's trying to find
That
some
man-
treasure out on the beach.
My
That man
favorite
ain't getting paid.
character.
Yeah, the best character.
Yeah,
That
honestly.
dude doesn't
Metal
even know
detector
that
man.
he's in the movie. Like that, I love that. I love the fact that that's just some guy. Like that's
Yeah.
not a character. It's
Yeah.
just some guy.
He's just out there trying
And
to
then-
find lost shit, man.
Yeah, and then she asked, and then he asked her, "Is like, what are you looking at?" And then she said, "Blah blah 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 blah." And then hard cuts to a bar.
No,
No, you
wait,
forgot
wait.
about the bird.
There's a dead bird on the ground.
Oh my god!
They're
I forgot
walking.
about
They're
the
walking,
bird.
and she looks down. She's like, "Oh my god!" And it's this really horrible, like bad image of this bird, and it's just this JPEG of a bird on the ground. But it's almost like they flipped it upside down from the normal flying
Yeah.
bird.
I
So
have
it
a
was like-
photo. I'm gonna try to get it in
It
the
was-
video for this podcast.
So it was like flying, but it was like
Yeah.
I guess it
It's-
was dead. And my favorite thing is whenever they put the birds on the screen, the camera jiggles. So the bird on the screen is following the camera, so the bird is also jiggling with the camera, and
Yeah.
it just looks so bad.
The camera guy has a bad case of the shaky hands when he's
Yeah,
holding the camera.
Natalie like goes down to touch the bird. She's like, "Oh my god, the bird is dead!" And he's like, "Stop! You'll
Don't
get a
touch it."
disease."
Yeah, because birds carry disease like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I jumped the gun. I'm so intense, but I
Oh,
love
I
the
know
hard
this
cuts.
movie is
I
like
fucking love
It's all
them.
over the place. It really is.
They see dead bird, hard cut, bar.
I don't think it's is it I think it's mom next. That's when he goes to
No.
meet the actual mom.
I think that's after, is that not?
That's what I have on like my notes. Because it
I
goes
Go for it then. Did he go meet mom first?
Yeah, and
then
it
no,
was
I
like-
think it says no. I think they did go on the date. They went to like
Oh,
another
okay.
location, and it
didn't
abruptly
they,
cut.
didn't they go bar mom bar? I remember they go to the bar twice.
I think that's what happened because
probably.
basically, I think I just got so frustrated. I wrote in my notes they keep going on dates and abruptly cutting, and we don't know how they get there.
Yeah, it's like the
And
same
it's like
date.
a series of dates that they just keep going on to these new locations, and it's weird.
Because I remember them walking up and seeing like an Irish flag, and then I think it went to the moms afterwards, and then they went
Yeah.
back to that bar.
Yeah, I
remember
remember
Yeah.
that bar because
The
it's
next-
like a reoccurring theme.
Yeah. So they go to the bar, they talk some more. I don't remember what they had that conversation. That first conversation was.
I
about
don't remember
at all.
which like bar it was, but I do remember there was like a singing man on the
That's
stage.
what it
singing-
was.
and
That
he
was the
singing-
Irish pub. That was the Irish
was
pub.
Yeah, that was the
singing-
Irish pub.
a really
yeah,
bad
that-
song, and it
was a
wasn't. It was the same
war.
lyrics over and over, and it was
was an original
nighttime. You
song,
could
too.
tell that they were like, not allowed to be there during the day. So and they
Or
were just
early
dancing
morning.
uncomfortably.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the woman's dance moves were fantastic.
That's the widest
She
shit I've
was
ever
not
seen.
on she was not on rhythm. She started doing the robot. She was like every now and then you would see her thinking about trying to do some freak nasty dancing. She's about to start getting crunk. And
Yeah.
but she couldn't the movie wouldn't let her. The director was like, no, dance whiter. Yes.
Too much.
Too much. Whites,
Talk
do
about
it
the
more.
director later.
And then they like jump to the mom somewhere in between there, but it's not important
Yeah.
because they just talked about retirement, and it was just like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a mom scene.
It's like, oh,
Whatever.
I've been retired and it's great. I used to be a jeweler and now I'm not. Wow, thank you. So cool, mother.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Doesn't
And
add
then hard
anything.
cuts back to bar, and then fuck that bar scene. Hard cuts to the hotel room.
Oh
Let's go.
yes. Oh my
Yeah, the
god.
hotel room. And then
Yeah.
like she comes out in her
She's
bra
actually in
and
underwear.
She peeks out. She's like, hello.
So
No, but on the
Oh my
TV, there's
God.
a lady with
Hold
a
on,
bird
hold
cage.
on. Hold on, let me set the scene for everybody.
Oh, okay. I'm
Please.
sorry.
Hotel room. The same hotel room from before,
Yes,
just lacking
exactly the
the
same.
advertisement this time.
yeah.
That's the key feature. There was no
They took
advertisement.
off the paper sign.
It's a
There's
different
a TV
room.
going. On the TV, there's a lady messing with birds in cages because you know why? Because birdemic.
Oh, foreshadowing. Oh my god,
Foreshadowing.
brilliant.
And then she peeks her head out, and she's
Hello.
like, "Oh, I'm in bra and
Oh, I'm
panties."
naked.
She stands out, and she's like, "What do you think?" And he's like,
The
he just
blankest stare.
stares at her. Blankest
Yeah.
fucking stare. Like he's so unimpressed. The blankest stare. He just stares, and
He
he looks her
also
up and
looks
down.
super awkward too.
He
Yeah.
looks awkward and bored.
All at the same
That's what I
time.
think. That's what I think.
Mhm.
He like looks her up and down, and he says,
You look.
"You look divine."
Yeah, but I don't remember saying divine. He just said you look. That's all I
You look
remember coming out of his
divine.
mouth.
And then they like get on the bed and start making out. And she is in her bra and underwear, and he has a tank top and like full
He's
like
got khakis.
He is
like
he has
khaki, like
pants.
cargo pants, whatever, on like
He
not
has
even
a
like
belt
comfortable
on.
pants.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're and this is where we had to pause yet again. They're
Lots of pausing.
making out. It was an awkward makeout session. They were like pecking at each other like they were birds. Ha ha.
Fucking, he
And
went for
then-
the tit a little bit too. Like he really
Yeah,
did.
Yeah,
was
I
going-
thought
he was
her
going for the
bra was gonna
chin.
come off. I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, this is on YouTube. Hold on.
Yeah, he starts sliding down his hand, and then like bra strap falls a bit, and then we get to the feet, and they're fucking footsie wrestling
Yeah.
down there, and,
And
her
then you
feet are so goddamn dirty.
Her feet are like literally black. Like she walked around at the beach and like
Mhm.
didn't clean. Like didn't
Yeah, her
and it's like, how did they shoot that shot and be like, yeah, that's good. Not be like, hey, come here. Why didn't you wash your feet?
because
And I'm pretty
it's
sure she
real
came
life.
out of the bathroom too.
Yeah,
like all
she
you have to
did.
do
She
is
came
stick
out
your
of the
feet in the
bathroom.
bathtub, splash them around a little bit, and you're good. And you retake the shot. Like
No.
what?
Why? That's so much extra effort. Just go in there, dirty feet and all, while he's wearing jeans.
Yeah.
And let's do the nasty.
God, dude, like it's stomping around in mud, like
Yeah.
And then my favorite scene in the world: hard cuts,
Bird
B-roll.
attacks.
No, not
No.
bird attacks. B-roll.
B-roll. Oh
B-roll.
my
oh
god,
yeah,
you're
the
right.
calm
B-roll
before the
Damn
storm.
it.
Basically, every location.
B-roll.
Yeah,
You're right.
B-roll. B-roll. B-roll.
no
And then
music.
no music, and then out of nowhere, oh look, bird
Bird
attacks. Oh look,
attacks.
bird bombs. The birds are fucking exploding.
So bad.
Fires everywhere.
Here, let me
Like
let
the
me
planes.
recreate the bird sounds.
Please.
That's the bird sound.
That was the best dramatization ever, honestly.
Yeah, you know that's pretty accurate.
It was.
Just
It was
have
very
that-
accurate.
Have that
But
breeze
it
sound playing in
looped.
your head
Mhm.
as the birds are dive bombing and exploding shit.
Like planes with a
Yeah.
Whatever.
And all of the birds were like, that's the birds. I am the soundboard for today. That is what they sounded like
accurate.
flying around.
It's accurate. You got yourself a business there.
Yeah,
We
And
so
all
get
they did-
there. This is like 45 to 50 minutes in. So the
Yeah.
birds don't start attacking, air quotes, until about 45 to 50 minutes in.
I
yeah.
don't know why. When they land, they explode. Like
Yeah.
they land, they do like the plane crashing sound, and then they just
Yeah.
explode. And it's like, why are these
So-
birds flammable?
So
They
what's happening
ingesting
is that
gasoline.
every B-roll scene that we saw beforehand is now on fire because of the birds.
And attacked by birds.
Mm-hmm.
Attacked by birds, or there's a swarm of birds nearby. And then
Mhm.
hard cut back to the hotel area, and the birds are at the hotel window of our main character and our lady, and they're just standing and they're just in there. They're like cawing at the people inside, and then the lady gets up like,
God.
"Oh, what's that?" Still in bra and panties, mind
Dude.
you. Opens up the curtain. Is like, "Wow, look at that, a bird."
Humping the window. Like, that's what they look like.
Yeah, and it like cuts to like a bunch of birds like attacking like outside, and I swear to God, it looks like those like augmented reality apps, like you're playing
Yeah.
Pokemon Go, and
Yeah, it
it's all
100%.
looks like Pokemon
bad
Go. It looks
birds with not a lot of polygons.
she wakes up Rod, and Rod's like, "Oh wow, look at those birds. That's probably nothing. Let's go back to bed." And then it cuts back to the birds outside, and one of the birds like hits a window and just fucking dies.
And it tumbles on the ground, like it does a little tumble and just goes "Ah," and like dies on the ground.
So good.
And it was really good. They're just sitting on the bed, and they're like, "Rod, I think they're breaking into the window."
So they take the
It's just-
entire bed frame and put it up against the window, and that'll be good. And I'm
And then-
worried because this is a hotel room, so they better put that bed back.
Yeah.
Clean that up.
and then we get an ass shot, because of course we
Yeah,
get
of
ass shot
course.
because she's still in her bra and panties.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And we're like,
All right.
there it is.
there it is.
And
She
then
has
time-
a thong on. We see
Yeah.
her butt.
But and then time
Butts.
passes, she gets clothes back on, and I just remember writing it down. She said, "Why would birds do this? Why would they
Yeah,
do
why-
it?"
Why would birds do something like that? Why would they just attack? It's like, you ever heard of like a hawk or like an eagle?
Yeah,
Maybe
you
a
know.
Calm,
vulture?
bitch.
I don't. Why would birds do that? I thought birds were good.
That's how it was. And during
Yeah,
this
and
whole
then they-
moment, they decide, okay, we gotta get the fuck out. And then they found someone. I don't know why did they go to like the room next to him, and we get
they went to-
introduced.
that's the thing too that I just realized. They didn't even know those people. They ran to the next, like, I guess it was a motel maybe. They ran to the next motel door and they knocked on the door and they were screaming and the people let them in. They're
Mhm.
like, wow, we've been up all night. The birds. There are birds out
birds.
there.
The birds.
Birds.
The birds work for the bourgeoisie.
The
was this-
birds work for the rich. Eat the rich. Caw-caw.
I mean, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. And then
Yeah.
then this is like a proceeding of like, we gotta get out of there, and like we gotta get. I have a van. We can go into the van, and oh my god,
They
they
grab the hotel hangers. And
Yeah, the new
they
guy.
fend off the birds.
yeah, it's a new couple, and they introduced. It was weird, and the guy grabbed the hangers. Like, all right, we gotta do like a tactical square, like our backs to each other. We gotta go. And oh my god, they fought off the birds once they got to
Yeah,
the van,
I
and it
mean-
was just great. It was just the fucking
Basically, it
weirdest
was
shit.
a still camera frame of like all four people standing like together, kind of just
Mhm.
swatting the air as
Mhm.
the birds just kind of just floating up and down, floating up and down, and not moving at all. And it was like, what? Nothing is happening. Like you can tell that the hanger and the bird is not interacting. These birds are flat on the screen. They're just hovering up and down, and these people are just swatting the air. And then
Mhm.
they get in the van, and it's like, what was the point? Like, what?
What was the point?
of that?
And then they get in the van, and the motherfucking guy's like, I got an AK, you can have a pistol. I'm like, what?
He pulls out a gun, and he's like, here, you can have the pistol. It's like, you had guns in your van?
Just randomly.
Yeah, don't you? Got random guns. Like, this is America. Duh.
And they start shooting down the birds, man.
The bad sound effects when they're shooting the birds. Oh,
Guns are horrible.
They're
They are the you could tell they're not trying to get in trouble. They're plastic guns and everything. And the sound effects are like pew pew pew. Basically,
Yeah.
at that point,
it sounded like you took like a video game gun shooting and you deep fried the sound.
that's what the birds look like to me too. Because all the birds look like they're just hijacked from a point and click game.
Yeah.
Like some point and click game has these exact same birds that we're seeing flap around, and it just got
100%.
Mhm.
100%. And then this is the beginning of the bird apocalypse adventures,
Mhm.
basically,
Yeah.
of just going around in this fucking car. Because then, like, they ran across 2 cars at the end. It's like, we gotta go look for survivors. And then it's like, oh, all the adults are dead. There's like 2 kids. One was in a trunk. One was in a
Yeah.
trunk for some
Yeah.
reason.
I wanna
There was
talk
a
about
kid-
that.
Yeah, there was a kid under the
So-
car, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
so
they
they're
pull
like, "Oh
over.
my god, I gotta help!" And so I was like, "Okay, so the guy's gonna help the kid under the car, right?" Then he runs to the other car and he starts breaking in. I'm like, "What's going on?"
So they pull over to go check out these 2 cars. They see, okay, these 2 people in this car are dead. The person by the trunk dead. They go to the other car. Oh, mom and grandma dead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they hear a child underneath the car, and he's like, "Kid, let's go. We gotta go." And then our main character Rod goes back to the previous car with the dead guy by the trunk, and he's like, "What's that sound?" And it's a kid locked in the fucking trunk. And
Yeah,
we just glazed past that.
Why was the kid even in there? I don't understand.
To protect
And
them,
so
I
he-
guess,
he-
but what the
He
fuck?
breaks into the car, opens up the trunk, yoinks kid out of trunk. They finally get the girl who's underneath the other car out of the underneath the car, run to the van, sort of run to the van, and have like a 3-second shootout with the fucking
They have those a
birds.
lot. They have a lot of
they're
3-second
like, "We gotta go
shootouts.
now," and then they don't, and then they just shoot for like a good 30 seconds, and then they go.
And now it's the interjection
then
of
they go.
like, I think they only did it for this scene, or they might have done it again, but like they would pan to the bird getting shot, and it's only one bird in the sky getting shot and
Yeah,
falling,
It
and
was
it's
the
silent
exact
staring
same
at.
shot every
Yeah.
time. That bird got shot in that one shoulder every time. But what they did was, because they thought it was different, was that bird would get shot on the left corner of the screen, and the bird would get shot in the center of the screen, but it's the same bird. And then the bird would get shot in the right corner of the screen, but guess what? Same bird.
It's a
Same
conspiracy.
bird.
It's the same bird. The bird.
I see past your tricks.
You bitch. And then they zoom off.
Oh
And
yeah,
then the
more
kids are
back to adventures of that, and
Back to
oh.
Adventures, and the kids are like, "I'm hungry."
Yeah, and I was like, you're hungry from
underneath
trying
the
to
car.
survive killer birds? Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Don't be
I'm
whiny.
hungry.
I'm hungry.
You're
It sounded like-
surviving.
So they go into a gas station, yoink some water. The kids are taking candy, I think.
The
I
one
also
kid
want to
is.
emphasize that they enter the like convenience store with guns.
Oh,
And
I was going to talk about
So
the
like
guns back
for
there
the
too.
movie, okay, yeah, I get it, but that's like a real, like that is a real location. And the
That
guy,
is a real location.
one of the, I forgot which one, but one of the guy characters is standing outside the door, like guarding it with the gun.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh my god, if someone drives past that, they're going to think it's a robbery.
Yeah, 100%.
So let me go back a little bit. So when they're saving the kids, they had the guns in their hands, right?
Yeah,
There are cars
Yeah.
passing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, they're parked on like the side of like a highway, and they're like for the movie, they're like shooting like the guns like out of their car, like they're kind of like reaching them out of the window. And it's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, like that's a real road. That's a real like they're gonna get
Yeah.
like cops are going to see. Those look real.
So
They're pointing them
car-
out the window.
yeah, so cars are going past them. There are fake dead bodies that are actually real people out scattered across the
Oh god, I
ground.
didn't even consider
on the
that.
car.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and they're in a van pointed towards those cars, and they're taking a kid out of the trunk and taking a kid from underneath the car, and just cars are
Jesus.
passing them the whole time. I was thinking
I
about
think
that.
at least
I'm like,
one of those cars called the police because there's
Oh,
no way.
100%.
has to be.
Have
to
to.
be. Oh my
You
god.
can't do that.
Yeah, so back to the gas station, homeboys outside the gas station with a fucking AK.
Yeah, while everyone's like raiding the place for food.
Yeah, and while everybody else is inside stealing shit. And it
Except
looks
for
sketchy as
his
fuck.
girlfriend, who's just in the car by herself.
And
She's
we
like,
forgot
"No."
about her.
Yeah.
She just
I
didn't
definitely
come
forgot about her.
in.
'Cause she wasn't the reason why I forgot about her is because when they look inside the car, she wasn't in there.
Yeah.
Because the movie forgot about her.
Yeah, 100%. And it was like,
and then we
Mm.
and they're like using then they cut to a park. Hard cut to a park area where they meet a scientist, if I believe.
oh yeah, but you're forgetting about lunchtime during pandemic.
My fault, yes.
Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, my fault, brunch.
Yeah, you gotta have
Because I
brunch.
forgot. Because they're eating their sandwiches, and then if you look in the background, there's people playing fucking water games.
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
there.
They all
Having
they
a
all sit down and they
May
have this nice like family picnic, and it's like don't mind me, and like 'cause they grabbed a bunch of sandwiches from the convenience store. Which, by the way, in like the little deli counter, they had like a bunch of
It's a
sandwiches,
ranch bottle.
and like there was like a single ranch bottle and like a single box of baking soda.
Bowl
and
of
like
water.
box of
exactly like 14 sandwiches, an exact amount of sandwiches that they definitely all put there as props because and it was just like what
14 sandwiches, a ranch bottle, baking soda, and a stick of butter. That was in that, and a water and a bowl of
and a
water.
bowl of
or
water
whatever
like
it
that
is.
you would feed like to a dog. But yes,
Yeah.
they're just having a picnic. They're having a nice lunch. Don't worry, the birds won't get you now because we're having a nice picnic. They're not going to bother us.
Yeah, they're not gonna bother us at all.
Yeah, they're not gonna bother us while there's a picnic going on.
Yeah.
Then you cut over. You see the happy family in the background having a grand old time. The main character guy, Rod and Nathalie, are like, "Oh, bathroom break. We'll be back."
Mhm.
Walks over to the bathroom like it's super casual, and they see homeboy on the bridge looking at the quote unquote dead birds, but he's actually just looking at nothing. He's
Yeah.
looking at these
He's
dead
got a
birds.
mask
and he's
on
got-
and everything.
He does.
He's got the coronavirus setup going on with with the mask and everything, and he's like, "Stop! Don't come any closer. It's contagious." And then they walk closer to him.
And like, "Fuck you."
These birds are contagious. They're going to infect you, even though I'm on a bridge and they are under me very far away.
I won't get over because they walk closer to him, and he says, "I said, don't get closer."
I don't remember what caused them to say it like what they said, but he's like, "All right, fine, I'll go with you. I'll get closer to you now."
Well,
Yeah.
they said, "Hey, why don't you take off the mask and come tell us what's going on?" And he's
Oh my
like,
God.
"Sure, whatever."
Yeah, fine, why not?
20. Yeah, he comes over to the table, takes off his mask, and starts telling a story. And it's like, oh my God, it's like those people who like you go to like a restaurant and then they take off their mask to tell the waiter their order, and it's like
Mhm.
stop that.
There's no need for that. And
And I-
he starts explaining what's going on with the birds.
Yeah, this was like the whole moment of like, it's one of those films of like, global warming, like
It
the
got so
lesson, that like the
preachy.
global
Yeah.
warming
Yeah.
bullshit. And by the way, this is one of two people that we're gonna like meet in this film that does this exact moment. He's the first
Sure
one.
do.
And he was like, I think he even said at one point during this whole little spiel about the reason why the birds are attacking, which is the birds are attacking because they're just pissed off because of global warming, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, they're pissed,
bird
off,
flu.
and they have a lack of food. They have a
I
lack
mean,
of food
yeah,
because the
I-
krill are going away.
I
And then the
zoned
bird
out.
flu.
Most of his speech, but basically he came over and he's like, "Hi everybody. Well, the birds, they're attacking because of global warming and they're out of food and we're hurting their habitats and global warming is it's like what
Yeah, and just a moment before he said it was like, there's a bird flu virus too. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Pick a
What?
story.
Yeah, that's why they're contagious, Nathan, because of the bird
Oh,
flu virus.
Of course, I
that you
didn't
have
think
to
about
touch to get.
it.
And he's like, "All right, guys, I'll go now. Bye."
One of my favorite
He's
lines.
like,
Yeah, he just leaves. One of my favorite lines he said during that thing is like, "I'm not mad at the birds. I'm mad at people for
"Oh
doing
God,
global warfare."
yeah." I'm
The real
It's not-
monster is humans.
yeah. It's not the birds' fault. They're not the monsters here. The real monster is the humans.
Yeah,
And he looks at
Human
the
race.
camera.
Oh my god.
it's one of
Dude,
those
if you
movies,
wanna-
guys.
If you want to just go make documentaries, then go do that. Okay. Like,
Yeah, there was no reason for this. So and then hard cut, there's driving and his like bathroom break, which was
Oh.
weird because they could have used the bathroom at the park, but no, ladies got to use a bush.
Oh yeah, this
So,
is great too
The
because
two
like
girls, the two girls run off to go use the bathroom, and Natalie is like, "Yo, I'll watch you. Make sure no birds are coming."
but you gotta say the
then-
line that
yeah,
Ron
you gotta say the
said.
line. The guy was like,
Oh,
which I think we found
for it.
out at this point too that the guy's like a military guy, and that's why he has
Yeah.
guns in his car. I'm like, that's how that works.
He's like,
Um,
I just want peace. I was tired of killing.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
what?
So the other guy that he had the van and the guns, he was like, "Oh, so how long were you in the military? So are you still in the military?" No, I left. I was in Iraq, but I got tired of all the killing. I just want peace.
almost late for a promotion of Imagine Peace, www.com.
Jeez.
And girls are running off, go use the bathroom.
And that's the line
she-
leading up to this is like, I think he's like, "Where's the ladies?" And the main character's like, "They're taking a shit."
That's the exact
Yeah, they're taking a shit.
Yeah, she has a roll of toilet paper with him. She sets it down in the
Yep.
dirt, and it's just like, okay.
She actually gonna take a shit.
Starts slowly taking off pants, but they're still on, and she squats down, and then out of nowhere you hear caw.
And yeah, and she gets like hit with the bird gets her, and she's like, "Oh my god, she's dead."
Natalie's shooting, bang, bang, bang. Bird gets shot. She runs over. Oh, dead. Runs back to the boys. I swear to God, the way she was running, it seemed like they filmed that like 4 times. Because I swear to God, the way she's running, she face planted a few of those times.
Oh, 100%.
And she comes over, and then the military guy is like, "Where's the girl? Oh, she's dead. What?" Hops out the car.
Like, I didn't
starts
believe the
booking
bitch.
He
Like,
goes to check.
yeah, she's just lying. You know, like, nah, she
Yeah.
ain't dead. Joke's on you, April Fools. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, goes back, checks on her, runs back screaming, shooting at the birds because he's upset. He's like, "Let's go!" He gets in the car, shoots more birds, and then punches the dashboard because he's upset.
That's literally that whole moment. Yeah, that's literally the whole moment. And then back to
He's like,
Bird Apocalypse Adventures. Like,
"What am I supposed to do? Man up, let's go!"
back on adventures.
And- And then hard cuts back on Adventures. Oh, look, is that the pub? Oh, look, is that a bus with the people in there getting attacked that are safe but screaming for help? Ah,
We gotta protect
yes.
them. What would Becky do, or whatever fucker?
Oh my god, this movie.
We gotta go save them. They go over, save them. Well, let me rephrase this. They go over there. A military dude hops out, like, "I'm gonna go get them." And he's like, "Come on, let's go." They're like, "I don't want to leave, but help me though."
Yeah,
But
they
I
didn't
don't
wanna
want
leave at
all.
They're literally
safe.
like safe where they are. Like, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I won't get over because he forces the first lady out.
No!
He goes up to the second
Like-
floor, and then
Screams out, "No!"
the lady on the ground is literally saying, "Help me, save me though, but help me, get out."
No!
Get everybody get out of the bus,
No!
and he's like, "I will lead them out." And then the bird apocalypse comes again.
Yeah.
More shoot
Who would've
bangs, and then
thunk?
out of nowhere, the
Fucking-
birds. I'm gonna say they pissed acid on them.
That's what I thought.
Acid.
That's
I
100%
don't
what
know
I
where
thought.
it came from, but some sort of orifice opened up and acid poured on the humans.
It
their
looked like
faces
orange juice.
Yeah,
it
it
was
really
like
did.
very orangey yellow, but I was like, is that it looks like puke, but I think it's supposed to be acid because I think
Yeah.
it is acid because now they're dead and they have birds
Why
on
you
their
say that?
face.
It's
Yeah.
like, why do the birds have acid all of a sudden? Where did that
I
come
don't,
from?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like-
even know.
Only time they use it in that entire film too.
It's like
Only
literally,
time.
yeah, that's the only time. Literally, if you didn't drag them out of the bus, they would be fine. Like, it's
Yeah,
so
you
funny
guys
that they
killed
get
them.
so scared of these birds, like they have hands or something. Like, if this were a zombie movie, zombies are like a lot stronger than birds because they're humans. They're like human
Yeah.
size, so they can open doors and stuff. Birds fly into windows because they can't see the window. Like birds will, if you lock down a door, you cover the door in like boards or whatever, you get like some, like protective clothing, you're fine. These birds aren't going to get you. They can't break thing. Like they're not
Literally
gonna,
go to the cold. They can't handle the cold.
they're literally
Solution solved.
and that's still they're just birds. And up until this point, they're just birds, and all of a sudden they have acid, and it's like, what? They're just birds.
Yeah,
There's
I love that
nothing wrong. I
timing
don't
that you brought it up.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? They're just birds, and then they have acid, and it's like, I don't understand. Are they birds or are they like crazy?
Yeah. So at this point now, military dude's dead.
Along
3
with like
people they
5
try to
other
save,
people.
Yeah.
dead. The guy, the main character Rod is like, I'm gonna go save them, and the girl's like, what are you doing? They're dead. Drive.
Right, yeah, get out of here.
Okay.
And again, they take forever to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look back. They're like, oh, okay.
Shoot a couple birds,
cuts.
then leave.
Shoot a couple birds.
I
Hard
just-
cuts. Gas station.
God, I can't get over the acid, dude. Like,
The
this
acid
guy's
were
talking
wild.
about, this professor guy is talking about the birds are only upset because of global warming. He's like, does global warming explain why these birds had acid? I don't understand.
Was never used again. And then we go on another little adventure on where they basically just try to get robbed for their gasoline. No, they went to a gas station first.
They went to a
Nixie said.
gas station first.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they
$100
hard
a
cuts the
gallon.
gas station.
Which is
They
funny
go
as
to this
hell.
guy. He's like, hey, I need gas. He's like, okay, cool. I don't have a lot of gas left. So
it's
$100 a gallon.
God, the writing in this is just so bad. Like when he comes into the store, he's like, "Hi, our friends are dead from the Eagles. Can we use your phone line?"
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
this is,
The phone's dead. No
keep in
police.
mind.
$100 a gallon.
Yeah,
Exactly, that's how it goes.
keep in mind, this is like supposed to be like an apocalypse thing happening right now. And
The
it's
store is
so
fully
fucking
stocked.
organized. Like
Yeah.
nothing
No, it's
major
not
happens.
just as fully stocked. It's right after the guy's like, hey, can I use your phone? No, the phone's dead. And you see some dude walking by looking for things to buy.
Yeah, and the register works too. Like he's like, okay, and okay, I'll pay the $100, and he hands him his credit card.
Yep.
It's like, what? You didn't have $100 cash on you, really? Like you couldn't.
He pays for the gas. The lady and the 2 kids are like looking for water supplies and I think candy, and he's pumping gas. And then everybody hard cuts, and then Bird shows up.
Wait, I
Birds.
just want to emphasize that the store is again fully stocked.
Oh,
there
it's
is
fucking fully stocked.
lots of water for everybody. So I just want to save that for later.
Yeah.
It continues.
Yeah, fully stocked. Everything is crazy. They hard cut yet again after the birds attack.
To
Go and
randomly
zoom,
on
and they
the
see,
road.
oh look, there's a truck. Let's go help this man with a cowboy hat on in Northern California now. Northern California with the
Yes.
gotta emphasize that one.
Mhm.
He gets out of the truck and he's like, hey, do you guys have some gas? But with a country accent. I'm not gonna attempt the accent, but he has a country accent. And he's like, yo, you guys got gas? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have enough to spare. We ain't trying to get out of here as well. And then Countryman pulls out his gun and he's like, you're gonna give me the fucking
No,
gas.
you're
No,
gonna sell me some gas.
Yeah.
You're gonna sell me the gas. My fault. Yes, you're gonna sell
You're
me
gonna
the
sell
gas.
me the gas. I only have $50.
It's like you could have
We
just
paid 100.
Yeah.
We paid 100. Well, sell me the gas. And then
Good draw.
and then Rod gets out of the car, opens up the trunk, and then out of nowhere he pulls out a fucking fuel tank
Yeah.
that we don't know where that came
Yeah,
from.
Yeah,
because
'cause he didn't do that.
he filled up his like car at like the actual like
Yeah, at the
tank,
gas
like the
station.
actual gas
Yeah.
station. It was a fully functional gas station, and he used the thing that you put in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know the words, but
Pump, the pump, yeah.
basically he didn't. We're just saying that he didn't get a container. There was no mention of
Yeah.
any container,
Yeah,
and then he
that
opens up the
container
trunk,
came out of
and
nowhere.
suddenly there's a container.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives the container to the cowboy. The cowboy starts to back up slowly, mind you,
Yes.
and then you hear "caw," and the eagle cuts his neck.
yeah, like and that's
Yeah.
it.
And then he dies and tumbles down a hill. His hat falls off.
And then I'm just like, this is where I was just like, oh my god, this movie is such trash. All out of nowhere, out of frame, caw, neck gone.
Gets
Yeah.
even better because they're like,
Yeah.
we have to get out of here, and they drive away extremely slowly without the gas tank.
Yeah, they just
that
ran
they said
away.
They needed. They were like,
Yeah,
we're
they
low on
left-
gas. We need gas. There's
We
your
gotta-
gas tank. There's no birds. Grab it. You're literally standing right there. They left his gun and the gas tank, and they just drove away,
Yeah.
and they almost hit the other
Just-
guy's car
Yeah, that
This
was
is
great.
gone.
trying to back out.
Dude, all these
And
little
then-
moments, these are literally just like they could have been like
Oh,
mini shitty
God.
episodes of a show. Because
Yeah.
like they
Really,
make
though.
no connection to each other other than they're moving.
It reminds me of like a shitty Adult Swim show. All right,
Yeah.
next one. You guys ready for the next hard cut? Hard
next
cut
epi-
forest.
Yes, forest time.
The forest.
To the
So
next
they're coming out
episode.
just like we need more water. So let's there. I know there's a freshwater creek down there.
Yeah, let's drink
Let's go
the
down
creek
there.
water.
Yeah, let's go down there and get some freshwater creek water. So they grab some bottles, a jug, like a little fuel injector jug, and comes over there and starts dumping the water. I mean, starts getting the water, and then they look towards the ridge, and he sees creepy ponytail
Yes.
man out in the distance.
He
And
looked-
again, there was plenty of water in the store. There was no need to get like
There was-
dirty creek
Yeah, yeah.
water. There was plenty in the store. Just go get more.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's-
You know what pony guy looked like to me? Because like it was a fake
Who?
ponytail. He looked like a cracked out Skarsgård. Like
He nice. He looks like what's that dude? What's fucking he's that bald dude from Now You See Me. I can't think of his name now. I'm
oh,
gonna look this
Woody
up.
Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, he looks like
a cracked out Woody Harrelson. That's what he looked like to me.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was so creepy though. Like he's standing like behind a
Oh.
tree and he's staring at them, and
Yeah.
and he's like this creepy. He looks like he's gonna kill them.
Yeah, he's just staring at him, and then Rod pulls out his gun. He's like, "Get down here, talk to us." And he comes down, starts like skipping down. Basically, Rod is mind you, Rod is standing behind his meat shields with the gun in his hand.
Yeah, the children
kids
and the
are in front
lady.
of him. Yeah, the children and the
Jesus.
lady are directly in front of him while he's just pointing the gun over the kids' heads and like, "What's up? What up?" He's like, "Don't worry, I'm no danger to you. I live here. I have my tree house up there.
I love
CG
my
tree
redwood
house."
trees. Oh god, the
I
tree
love-
house is
Oh my
definitely
God.
not real.
Yeah, same with the. It's
CG
just like the
treehouse.
birds. Yeah,
Just like the birds, and he's like, "I'm living here with my trees. I have to protect them from the giant
Global
corporate
warming
companies."
speech.
it was definitely
And
yeah
yeah,
another
part
global
2.
warming street like
Part
speech.
He goes into he goes into his global warming speech, and then he says, and they're like, "So why aren't you afraid of the birds? Haven't you noticed? The birds only attack cars,
And gas
stations."
stations. That's it. They don't come into the woods. And I also want to say that he was talking about like, oh, we have to I protect the trees. We can't hurt them, we can't harm them. He has a tree house. It's made of wood. He cut down some trees to make that tree house. So,
It's just like this is a hypocritical bastard. It's just like out
Yeah.
here. It's like they only attack cars. Do you understand me? Cars and gas stations.
yes. So
And-
leave that. He's like
Basically-
no.
Basically, other civilizations. But not in my treehouse. I am safe.
Not my tree house though. It's made
and
of
the-
redwood trees.
Yeah.
Bird's not angry
the guy-
about that.
And
Gasoline,
then he's
no.
like, "Oh, Yeah, he's like, I gotta go. I hear a mountain lion coming, and it's like, what? We're in the woods. Mountain lions live on mountains.
What sucks is that there was no sound or indication that there was anything other than those guys there. There was
No,
no
I think there
roll
They
was.
couldn't
to
even
let us
add a
know.
sound effect.
No.
They were like, oh,
I
you're a mountain
swear to
lion,
God,
gotta
there
go.
was. I swear to God, there was. 'cause
I
I
don't
thought there
think
was
so,
like a
man.
I
I
didn't
didn't
hear
hear
anything.
like a weird
I
moaning
didn't hear
almost.
shit. They run away. They're like, oh my God, mountain lion, we must get back to the car. And they're like, oh my God, are we lost? And then you look to the right, you see the shittiest fire I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God. I think the funniest thing too is not only is it bad fire, but
It's
it wasn't a
five.
lot. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
it
a
was
lot
little-
of fire
little
to even
baby
be like
fires everywhere.
threatening. It looked like someone set up 3 different campfires, and it like
Yeah.
was not threatening like at all. And they basically run out of the woods like coughing and wheezing and like, oh my God, I can't breathe. And I was like, have you never like had a campfire before? Like the
Yeah.
entire forest was not on fire. That's a little dramatic.
they're like choking and like on the
Yeah.
smoke that there was no smoke at all. Like we must leave.
They're like, oh my God, all the smoke, and it's like they're driving past the forest that there's literally like no smoke anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
Yeah.
love that you guys noticed
then-
this. Like I noticed something like this kind of way earlier, whereas like the film just stopped and then like before the fade can
oh
completely
yeah,
go.
yeah.
You guys
Oh,
noticed
So
The
the
fire
fire.
effect.
yeah.
They
Mhm.
cut to like the next. They did another hard cut, like back when they were getting in their car, but when they were walking out of the forest, the fire effect did not stay on long enough. So the fire effect, like on the trees, disappeared for like a second, and then it cut to the next scene, and it's like, huh? What? You didn't
Yeah.
check that? Like literally, it just goes. And it disappears, and it's like normal fire, normal like woods again, and it's like, what? How did you let that? What? It's gone.
It's so stupid. And then now I think this is one of the last hard cuts of the movie. Hard cut. They get to a little ridge area, and guess what? They ran out of gas
Mhm.
because they didn't have the fucking gas tank they had filled up.
Which
Yeah.
they could have
And-
easily taken. There were no birds
Yeah.
attacking.
There was no birds attacking.
Was this
they're
the
staying-
like the lighthouse area?
Yeah, their friends are dead, by the way.
I
Those
forgot
friends,
about
like
that.
Yeah.
Hard
earlier
cut.
in the movie, like that we never
This-
saw
The
again.
ones that were having
Mhm.
sex.
The ones that
Yeah.
went on the
The
double
Match
date
in
with, and we
Peace
never
t-shirt
saw
lady?
them again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
They-
dude!
She still had it on.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we're going to the lighthouse. Mai's there. And we're like, who the fuck is Mai? And we get up, it's like, is Mai the best friend?
Yeah,
They
we
find
can
it's like, oh
remember.
my God, is that Mai's car? And they're like, okay, and they pulled over, and then they run over to the car, and oh, look out, Mai got killed by birds, and the dude best friend's killed by birds. But guess what? Mai's not actually dead. She can say a few words. And what were those words she said? I believe they're
It's like
on the lines of
Forgive us. or
don't
something?
blame them.
Yeah,
Oh.
don't give them. Forgive them. Forgive the
Don't-
birds. It's not their fault.
forgive them. Forgive them.
It's not their fault.
Forgive the birds. It's not their fault.
So random.
Again, she has the same advertising
Imagine
shirt on,
peace.
literally walking advertisement girl.
They're like that's like a PETA line. Forgive them. It's not their fault.
Oh God.
You're not wrong.
And now one of the final hard cuts is them hard cut. Oh no, we're out of gas.
Mm.
What are we to do? And then the two kids in the background like, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
He opens the
Want
trunk and
food.
he's like, "Hey, a fishing rod." What?
Yeah, he had the
And
car
and the-
for
and the
how long?
stove.
Yeah, had
Yeah.
all this shit.
Fishing
Like,
rod
oh
and
wow,
stove.
there's shit here.
Is this
Oh
a
my
pot?
god.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So
And they
they're
go to
like,
the beach
I'm gonna
again.
go catch. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go catch some fish,
Mm-hmm.
and you get us some seaweed.
And the little kid
Okay.
is like, "I love seaweed. It's healthy for you."
Yeah, he the kid
Yeah.
said that. Like, what child
He's
says
"I love
that
seaweed.
shit?"
It's healthy for. So they collect the seaweed. My man Rod goes over there to get some fish. He's like, I've got a fish. He runs back with the fish. You could clearly tell the fish is frozen.
Yeah, all 100%. Already
The
gutted.
fish is the fish is 100% frozen. He goes, he's like, I'm gonna go grab the stove. He comes back down. The stove is full of water. He sticks the fish in, he sticks the seaweed in. They have plates. I don't know where the plates came from, but they have
Oh, no.
They
plates.
had them. The back of that van had everything they needed, and they just were stupid
And
enough to look.
they try to like make the plate for like the kid. They're handing out plates, and they put seaweed on the plate. They hand it to the same little boy, and he's like, "Yuck! I want a Happy Meal." And
then the dad
Natalie's
was like,
like,
"I also
"There's
want
no
a
Happy
Happy
Meals here. There's no Happy Meals here anymore."
Yeah.
And I'm like, he literally just said he loves seaweed.
Yeah, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, kid. Get your shit together. Make
But
up
I
your
want a
mind.
Happy Meal.
So
And then you hear,
Happy Meal.
"Caw-caw!"
I don't know why I have this written down, but there's just a line like right after that, just as like ... good ... And I don't know what who said good.
No more. No, I think you were saying good to the no more Happy Meals.
No, I swear to God, I think it was someone's line that he just.
I don't
Oh,
remember.
I think it was like
I
Ron
don't
just
remember
randomly
good.
just had a blank stare. He's like, good, and continued to say something. I don't know.
Oh, I
don't-
think you're right. I think they were like talking about something, and then the main character guy blankly starts talking, and he's like, "Good," and it's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Was that during when he was making the food? Because I don't remember that.
It was
It
after,
was
I
it
so
think.
might have
I
been
don't
just like
remember.
I
them
was so
making
over the movie.
conversation.
I was so over the movie at that
Dude, the
point. It
food
was just like,
also
It
was like
was so-
horrendous.
Yeah. It was so close
So-
to ending, dude, and it like
Yeah.
didn't, and it just kept us in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. and then you
kept
hear,
us
and then
hostage.
you hear the try and true sounds of caw, and it's just like a bunch of eagles are coming. It's like, oh my god,
We
the
gotta run.
birds.
It
We
also
gotta
makes you
run.
think, and it's like, why did they think that they could relax on the beach and like eat food? Like,
Yeah.
did they forget? Like, I
what I'm
forgot
saying.
about the birds, but you think you think that they wouldn't, because it's like
Yeah.
the whole thing. So it's
Well, that's
like,
the
why
thing.
did they think that they could relax?
That's the thing about it.
And-
It's a
and then-
very organized apocalypse. So it's like everything's in
Yeah,
an
it is.
orderly
Yes, it is.
fashion.
Okay, the birds will
only
not attack you
when they
during
feel
dinner
like
time,
it.
so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. There's tea time in 2 hours. We got some time.
and then Bree makes a comment because they're reminder they're on a beach, and Bree
Yeah.
just makes the comments like, "Oh yes, I also love running on sand."
Running on sand is really funny, especially when you have like flip-flops on, because they like get in the shoes and like
Yeah.
hold you down. So they're basically running in place, but also trying to run fast to get away from the birds. And I just think it's really funny. Like,
So they have to run on the beach, run up some stairs, and make it to their car.
Yeah.
Birds are fast as fuck.
Mhm.
Those birds are slow as shit then because they're not moving.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
just like gliding.
that's what they do
towards-
though. Like they literally, it's the same animation for the birds the entire movie. It's
Yeah.
either the birds flapping their wings up and down, or it's the birds like coming into the distance, and they just hover. They just hover there. They don't move. They just
Yeah,
hover.
they don't move. So they make it back to their van. Homeboy Rod is shooting the pistol at the fucking birds. And then he runs out of ammo.
Yeah.
Whoop-de fucking do. So he's like, okay, final stand. I'm gonna grab a tire iron, holding it the wrong way. I'm gonna and I'm gonna give you this life preserver. I think that's what was in
I
her
don't know
hand.
what was
don't know.
happening because I wrote down
I don't
like they're
know
gonna
what-
try to fill the car up with gas while he hits him. She's gonna fill up the car with gas. She handed him a can. He
Was it a
handed
can?
her a
Yeah.
can, a gasoline can. Which wait, where did that even come from? So that means you had two. Okay.
Yeah.
Then he had the tire iron. I wrote that down. It's like you fill up the car, I'll hit him with the tire iron.
Yeah. And he's like, if they come through that window, swing it. Why then did you close that side window?
Yeah, they
Anyways,
left the windows
front
rolled
window.
down.
Yeah.
How else
that
are you gonna
front
shoot
window's
him?
open. And then you see, and then it cuts to the birds cacawing, just floating in the air. Then it cuts
Yeah.
back to the people afraid. Then it cuts back to the birds cacawing. Then it
And
cuts
then-
back to the people
One
afraid.
bird slams
then it
into
cuts
like
back
the
to the
front
birds.
Yeah,
windshield
just like,
because
"Fuck your
birds can't see
windshield."
glass.
Fuck that windshield, just hits it.
Oh my god, you're
And
right.
And
then
Bri. I
dies
didn't-
immediately.
I didn't
and
think
they're
about
like,
that.
okay, what are we gonna do? And then you see in the distance, cacaw, it's seagulls. And you're like,
Yup.
what are those
Seagulls,
gonna
doves,
do?
or something, man. And it's like, what
No,
the
they're.
fuck?
I
Yeah.
think they were seagulls.
I think they were
Damn.
seagulls, and the seagulls come over and scare the eagles. There was
Yeah.
2 vultures in that pack too.
They
Yeah,
were either
yeah.
eagles,
and
vultures, or hawks, which are all predatory birds, and like birds that eat small like animals. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the seagulls come by, and say, "Hey, fuck off this vehicle," and scare the eagles away. And the first thought in my head that popped up was like, eagles are just dolphins.
Yeah, I wrote that down. Seagulls are the dolphins of the sky.
Yeah,
Jesus.
seagulls are just the dolphins of the sky.
I was just like,
scaring
how
away
does
the
that even
predators.
like how does that even work? Seagulls are so tiny. And
Yeah.
seagulls are not really predators. I think they eat like small insects and sometimes the occasional
Yeah.
Fish, maybe?
stray
Fish.
beach chip.
Mm.
But like
Yeah.
they don't eat like other animals.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why the seagulls scared them away.
Yeah,
There was so
seagulls
many
just scared 'em
questions,
away.
man. There were
And
so
then
many questions.
The humans get out the car and look out into the distance to the not moving background of the birds flying away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a flock of eagles and then a flock of seagulls in the distance.
Mhm.
And they're just not moving. They're just flapping their wings up and down. It's like normally if you were to try to get, the illusion of them moving, you would make them smaller. And so they
Yeah.
look like they're going to the distance, but they didn't. They just hovered up and down.
And they sat on this scene for like 5 minutes.
They
Yeah.
did.
Of
And then they
nothing
would pan
happening.
back to the people and they were like, wow. And then they would pan back to the birds and they would be a little further away. And then pan back to the people. And they're like, wow, look at them go. And then they pan back to the birds
that's
who
the
are even
last
further
one.
away now. And it's like, oh my God.
And then
Credits
And then
roll like 3
credits.
minutes later. Like,
Yeah. And I
like,
went,
why?
wow, hated that.
Like, no, like, why? Why were the seagulls good? Why? How were they able to do this?
Dude,
Why?
you're
It
gonna
just
hurt
ended.
your brain if you try to question it.
I'm
Nathan,
like
yeah.
so fucking confused on
Nathan,
why.
I have to say it out loud. During halfway through that movie gave me a goddamn headache. I
That's
was
valid.
like, oh my God,
That's
Ugh,
valid.
what's
dude,
happening in this?
It was horrible.
That
I
was the movie. That was the fucking movie.
I
Like,
think
what the
I
fuck?
can make it better with some fun trivia.
Please do.
Go for
Please
it.
do.
Please do.
Okay, so
Actually,
Uh,
before you say the trivia, I have to say this. This movie was made on a $10,000 budget.
yeah,
The
Yeah.
credit sequence was scrolling through. Once the ending part of the sequence, it says, "This is a work of fiction." What?
Really? Really?
no
Really?
way, I couldn't tell.
And they said thank you to whoever part of California for
New
like
something
allowing
Bay.
us to do this. Yeah, New Something Bay, California, whatever. And it's just like, this is a work of fiction. And this is something that could happen. No, it can't. Birds aren't that. What? Anyways, go for your trivia.
Trivia
I'm
time with
ready.
Bree. Let's go.
Oh God, you are not ready. Okay, so yeah, $10,000. They spent more money on advertising and getting rights to things than the actual movie cost, which is a fun little fact. I have an
Fantastic.
even more fun fact. They began production in 2006.
Wait,
This
it
makes
took them
sense.
4 years.
This makes sense.
The movie took
This-
4 years to produce, and they mostly filmed it on weekends because wait, it gets better. Because the director was paying for the movie production with his day job, so they could only film when he was free on the weekends.
Oh my god.
Did you know this was released in theaters?
Oh.
Limited theatrical release, and it was so bad that they took it out of
Release?
theaters.
Oh.
Did you know that there's a sequel that came out in 2013?
Well, I gotta add
Did
that
you
to the
know?
list.
Nathan,
I think you
Nathan,
knew
I
this
would
one.
rather watch Sharknado than Birdemic
No,
2.
we gotta watch the sequel. We gotta get answers. All right, we have to get answers.
Hold on, let me
Please.
see what the sequel. I think the sequel is called Birdemic 2: The Resurrection.
No! Ah!
Yes.
Okay. Oh no, listen, I got so many fun facts. Okay. Because I was on the wiki and I was like very interested, and apparently the director is a huge jerk. So we're gonna learn more about
Is
this.
he?
Oh, please.
Yeah.
James, what's
okay.
his name? James Newton?
James Newgan. Basically, they
he's-
didn't get we know this, but they didn't get any permits to film any of these places.
Of course, yeah.
Instead,
no.
they just showed up to places
Yeah.
and sometimes got kicked out.
Oh my god.
This is
Because you can't
girl
you
who-
can't record everywhere sometimes. Because
the girl who played Natalie was the one who spoke up on
Yes.
all of this because nobody else wanted to talk about it. So she was the one who spoke up on all of this stuff because
good.
they wanted to keep it a secret. I think her name is Whitney Moore.
Hmm.
Mhm. Her name
So-
was actually listed in the movie. Her name was not fake. I
Yeah.
can say that.
So
She was committed.
there was one point she said there was one point that they filmed on a public jogging trail, and the director James Newgan yelled at people to get off the trail. people who were not in, like, people who were just trying to use the trail, and basically Natalie or Whitney Moore told James Newgan, hey, like, don't yell at the people who are not associated with the movie. And he didn't like her telling him that, so you know what he did in response? He refused to
What?
talk to her for 3 weeks. And
What?
Lovely.
You're the
That's-
director of a movie.
hold on. It gets even better. So the guy who plays Rod, the main character, his name is Alan.
Yes.
I don't know what his last name is, but his name is Alan. And basically, the director refused to talk to Moore for 3 weeks.
Mhm.
So she got her direction from Alan because he didn't want to talk to her anymore. So Alan was the messenger for all of the directing
Oh
to-
my
for her.
god.
Also, the director instructed Whitney not to socialize with Alan after filming hours.
Because he didn't want her pregnant or something.
I
or he
don't
didn't-
know.
That's
or
I
such
don't
a
know.
had
weird
crush on
thing.
Whitney.
Also,
That's such a
that is
weird,
a very
thing.
weird thing. This is a very strange guy. It gets even better. So the first two
Oh.
makeup women that they hired, they
Yeah.
quit. So they had to hire new people.
Yeah, they had to hire a third one.
The, cr-
Of
and
course.
we knew the credits used fake people to appear more legit
Yes.
because the actors did basically everything. Like, there was no like stage crew. There was no
Yeah, there
like
was no stage crew.
barely
Yeah.
any makeup. There was barely anything. So they made up a bunch of names to make it more like legit.
Yeah, of course.
And last fact that I have, my favorite one, to promote the film, the director, James Newgan, he handed out flyers and paper signs that said Budemic.com. He misspelled it.
Oh,
The flyer said Budemic.com. Why did the eagles and vultures attacked?
oh
I
my
love this. This is fantastic.
god.
Yeah. Yep.
Yo, I'm stunned. No.
This is beautiful.
Yep. He also like apparently he gave out like little bird, like stuffed bird plushies or something to
Whoa.
also, and I was like, I don't know who he's giving these to though. Like I don't understand. And like I said,
Dude, I
before,
would love to have a Birdemic plushie. I'm gonna be real.
Dude,
with
I
you.
yeah.
want the
Like,
film. I want the
I
theatrical
don't think it
release
was
of
a
this.
no. It's not a plush. It was a paper bird. Like when you make a
I'm-
paper
I'm so
airplane.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's even better. Can I have one?
And yeah, so they held their microphones between their knees because they couldn't like afford actual good microphone stuff. Yeah, so that was all fun.
You can buy pretty good cheap microphones even in 2010.
Just increase like the budget by like another like $5,000. You can figure something out. Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
apparently, I'm reading from the wiki now because I had this written on my thing. He was handing out flyers to passerbys from his van with stuffed birds, paper signs. Yeah, those are the paper signs that had misspellings on them. And he rented out a local bar to screen the film. And
course.
eventually,
Was that
he got
the
attraction.
pub? Was that the Irish bar?
Yeah, probably.
It is now.
And
Whatever it is.
He gained. I'm pretty sure he gained attraction from horror movie websites because it was so bad.
Yeah.
So they like
Yeah,
went to go.
because he marketed it as a thriller horror, and
It
that
is-
was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is basically these critics are saying the worst movie, one of the worst movies of all time, and that concludes trivia time with Bree.
Yay! That was great.
Thank you, Bree.
That was
Thank you,
fucking
Bree.
magical.
Oh my god. Dude.
Okay,
Oh.
so
I'm so educated
you know
now.
what?
Thank you.
you know what, Nathan? What would you give this as a rating?
Would I give this as a rating? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
0
I
to
s-
10. 0 being the worst.
Fuck. Honestly, I give it like a 5 because here's why. It's too gracious. I understand. I give it like a 5 because I said this like right before we watched the movie. and I don't think I said it all during this entire recording of this podcast. It's one of those movies that's so bad that it just comes right back around to being exquisite,
Mhm.
and that's
Yeah.
100% this movie. It's
Yeah.
just
This movie,
it's beautiful.
The issue with this movie is that it's taking itself serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
thinks
what
it's
makes it
great,
funny.
but it's not.
Seriously, like
That's what makes it
director
very
yelling
funny.
at people on jogging trail. Serious.
Yeah,
This motherfucker thought he was
Yeah.
making a work of art. He was not. Like, it's
Yeah.
that's how I would just rate it, as a 5 because of that. It is
Mhm.
funny as hell, but it's not even trying to be funny as
Yeah.
hell. Oh, that's how I would rate it.
would you watch it again?
If I ever get the theater release, like, I want a projector. I want to rent out a like drive-in
Yo,
theater
yo,
and bring all my
let's rent
family
out
and
a
friends.
drive-in.
Yeah.
It said it premiered in the UK. Like
Oh.
I bet it
in
did.
theaters in the
I
UK.
bet it
Oh
did.
my god! Wait, this is an American film. It was in California. How
This
the
is
fuck did
American
it
film,
get
yes.
to UK?
It says it showed
UK
like
likes trash movies.
oh, so the film company, there was a film company that acquired them and launched
Yeah.
something called the Birdemic Experience Tour 2010, which showed the
Yeah.
film in the United States, Toronto, Canada, and the United Kingdom,
Oh my god!
which
It was
obviously
probably
it
that
did not do
company-
good.
Yeah.
Yes, it was probably that company that had like that shitty animation logo. When the movie
Yeah,
started, me
100%.
and Bree both yelled out, "I fucking hate this movie."
Yeah.
But that's
and
the
we
only
didn't
way.
even get past the opening scenes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Bree, what would you give this as a rating from 0 to 10?
2. maybe 1.5.
Would you
Valid.
watch it again?
I would, because it's funny, but it's bad. Like
Yeah.
it tries very hard to be serious, and
It's-
it's just it's funny because it's so bad, and it's like not self-aware at all.
No, it's not.
Honestly, the one thing
That movie could
was
not.
correct.
That movie could not come out now. That
Yeah.
movie would get fucking
Yeah,
destroyed by people like, this is sexist.
Yeah.
How dare
Yeah,
you?
it definitely was.
The only thing true, actually, like, oh yeah, they did good on like how to promote this movie is like the tour, the Birdemic Experience, because that's literally what this movie is. It's a fucking
This is an
experience, and that's what I want to
Yeah.
see. I need other people to watch this.
Yeah. So I'm at a 1. The
Yeah.
reason why I'm at a 1 because I would also watch it again. Because if movies are a 5, I don't care about those movies. Those movies are middle. They're either 8 to 10, which are good movies or great movies,
Mm,
or 3 to 1. If it's 4, 5, or 6, or 7, those are middle of the road movies,
yeah.
and those movies don't need to be watched again. But 3 to 0, those movies need to be watched like as a Christmas holiday.
Like, we're gonna watch the sequel. Well, like I'm gonna find it and we're gonna watch
I
it.
want to watch Sharknado. I want to rewatch Sharknado before we watch Birdemic 2, please.
I've never watched
have,
Sharknado, actually.
One
Fun
more
fact.
fun fact, actually.
Oh, one more fun fact.
Please.
Opening weekend. Can I get a guess on how much money it
20
made?
grand. 20 grand.
20 grand for you? I say 5. I'm gonna go low ball.
Damn.
5 grand.
5 opening weekend?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. I'm going
It
low
made
ball.
$11 opening weekend.
Wait, what?
That's not possible.
Wait, hold the fuck up. Wait, no.
How?
That means one person.
It is mathematically proven the worst movie ever.
How? No,
Wait,
that doesn't
hold
even
the
make
fuck
sense
on.
because no, it can't be one
Wait.
person because the tickets and then that money gets split up amongst other people. How? How $11?
I don't. That's just opening weekend, so I literally can't find
How much-
anything
how
on
much
how
mo- how much
much it
money did
made
it make?
overall. I don't know.
Oh,
I
there's
can't find
nothing-
anything
okay.
on it. They probably don't want people to know.
It probably made like
So I can't
$13.
find- I can't find anything on it. but I just know that opening weekend they made $11.
That's
That
that's a
that doesn't
beautiful
make
way.
sense.
That's a beautiful way to end
That
this
doesn't make sense.
podcast,
That
man.
makes
Like,
literally no sense to me.
yeah, I know. It does. You know what? Just like that movie, I think that's the perfect way to end this podcast. It makes no
Yep.
fucking sense.
Yep.
Thank you all so much for
That
tuning in, guys. That was Birdemic Shock and Terror. I don't know when we're gonna watch the sequel because I gotta find that, and it's gonna happen. Like, that's 100% gonna happen. But thanks again for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I guess shout outs times. I don't know what else to say here. Shout outs time. Let's go with Mixie first. Shout yourself out, man. Where can
Okay,
you find you on the internet?
I'm on Twitch. Mixie with 3 Y's and 001. I've been streaming Kingdom Hearts recently. I may stream Final Fantasy 12. Who knows?
Ooh.
It depends on how I feel.
Yeah.
So I was planning on going through that again, and I was just like, do I stream it or do I just continue my Kingdom Hearts kick and just blow through all those games? But who knows? We'll see.
We shall see.
We shall see. And I think that's about it.
Yeah.
If you see me playing Apex, watch out. I'm not good. Anyways, move on.
Bree, promote yourself.
I do art sometimes. That's pretty poggers.
Check
I'm
the
on
links.
Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. I think that's all of them at Breezy's all. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm Classic Hamster. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. I've been a bit active on TikTok. Been trying to be a bit more. I forgot to mention that earlier. Got that. Instagram, Twitter. Basically, just look up the name. I'm sure you'll find it. I stream like 4 days out of the week. We'll see if that changes. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.